Hello, this is Orson Enders, aka Delinda Hammondon, for Intergalactic Fight Club, and today I'm going to talk about scanning and nullsec exploration. So you ask, why would I want to do nullsec exploration? Well, for me, I can usually pull in anywhere from 50 to 75 million ISK per hour with nullsec exploration. This is good because if you're out in nullsec and you're running PvP fleets, a couple of hours worth of nullsec exploration, you have enough money to buy yourself a bomber or whatever kind of ship it is that you like to PvP in, as well as just, general good way for newer pilots to be in nullsec and to make some ISK in the uh, while you're learning the ins and outs of living in nullsec. First, I'm going to talk about the fit. This is my ship. This is a Helios, and this ship gets a plus to scanning, along with all of the other covert ops ships. I don't have it insured. Probably should, but I don't. Oh well. The description of this ship says that you get plus 10 virus strength to relic and data analyzers, as well as plus 10% bonus to scout drone thermal damage, which we don't really use. And it also gives you increased scan strength and probe strength, and allows you to fit the covert op cloaking device. Covert op cloaking device is essential for this operation, as this allows you to warp around system to system cloaked, and allows you to potentially get out of any trouble that you could be in. In this particular setup, we want to be as slippery as possible. We don't want people to be able to lock us down. We're still susceptible to bubbles and gate camps and things of that nature, but we put as much defense as we can afford on the ship to allow us to get out of any potentially sticky situation. For the ship fit, in the high slots, I put my Sister's Core probe launcher, as well as Sister's Core scanner probes. You can go with the standard scanner probes if your scanning skills are good, but I like to be able to scan the sites down as quickly as possible, as to not waste time when I'm running through. The quicker that you can move from site to site, the better. We also have our covert ops cloaking device. Like I said, this allows us to warp cloaked, to cloak up, to get safe, that type of thing. 1MN micro warp drive. This allows us to move very quickly and potentially get out of any sticky situations. It's also helpful when burning from can to can in our relic and data site. Right now we have one person in system, so we'll want to watch our D-scan and make sure that he doesn't jump in on top of us. And we'll also have a station selected, so if we need to get out, we can get out quickly. We have our data and relic analyzer. This allows us to scan the data and relic sites. This is kind of the main tool that we're using for this particular operation. We have a cargo scanner, which we'll go into a little bit more a little bit later, but this allows us to see what's in the can before we hack it. And sometimes if you know what's in it and you don't like what's in it, you can move along without actually hacking the particular can. The Helios has 5 mid slots, where I know, for instance, the Anthem only has 4 mid slots. So in the 5th mid slot, I put the scan pinpointing array, which also allows me to scan a little bit quicker. But if you only have 4 mid slots, this would be the one to go. I know on those other ships they also have an additional high slot. You can put whatever you want in that additional high slot, maybe a gun, maybe a salvager, if you think you can find some wrecks out there that you could salvage. In the low slots, I put 2 warp core stabilizers. This puts my my warp core at a point to where it's very hard to lock me down before I can warp away. You could also replace the warp core stabilizers with additional cargo bay expanders, which will allow you to hold more loot in your cargo bay as you're out and about scanning without having to run back to station. That's all personal preference, and depending on how high traffic the systems are that you're going to be doing your scanning in, is whether or not you want to, what you want to put in those low slots. Your inventory is what's in your ship's cargo hold, and I've been out and about scanning, and as you can see, I've hit one site and I have 28 million ISK worth of stuff in my cargo hold. And what I do in my inventory is I sort my inventory by volume, and what this allows me to do is figure out what's taking up the the lion's share of my cargo hold, so I can do my M3 to ISK ratio. And the point here is that you want to maximize the amount of loot that you can hold in your cargo hold. So for instance, these are 7 M3, and I probably hold on to them because I'm not full, but the ones that are not worth all that much, like you can see, it's 7 M3 worth of weight and 796,000 ISK worth of loot. Those would be prime candidates for being ejected when my cargo hold fills. And carbon, that's garbage. Hydrogen batteries, not worth anything, garbage. So let's just kind of go through this list and figure out what we want to jettison. 458,000 ISK, and it takes up a good quarter of our cargo hold. We don't want to hold on to that. And these carbon items we can get rid of. These hydrogen batteries aren't worth anything either, so we'll go ahead and get rid of those. And the data sheets, those are a lot of garbage, and we can see they're 1 M3 per, so those would be prime candidate for getting rid of. So we'll go ahead and we'll just select the stuff that we don't want here, and we'll just jettison it out into space. Oh, it's telling us that we can't jettison when we're cloaked, so we'll uncloak, and then we'll just go ahead and jettison it out into space. Now we have 27 million ISK worth of loot in our cargo hold, and we've gotten rid of a considerable amount of weight, so we're pretty good there. One thing that you want to do when you're out and about scanning is you want to plan your route. We live in Outer Ring, so I usually figure that we're going to start somewhere here in Outer Ring. The systems that would be prime systems in the Outer Ring, as I look at it here for scanning, would be the systems that don't have a whole heck of a lot of traffic. 4C, that's a bad system to go scanning in, and up and down this pipe is a little bit risky as a result of all the traffic that comes through here. What we're looking for is low traffic sites where we can kind of be uninterrupted for our scanning operation. Right now we're sitting in VSIG, and VSIG has 6 jumps in the last hour. In Dotland, you can filter the amount of kills and jumps. So we want to look at the ship and pod kills in the last 24 hours and kind of see what's going on with the systems that we're going to be in. A lot of these systems up here in Syndicate, all of this area would be prime area for scanning and hacking and looking at relic sites. Low traffic systems, somewhere where you can kind of get a little bit of privacy, and the number of jumps kind of gives you that indication. So right now we're sitting in VSIG, and I've already scanned down the site. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and we're going to go ahead and scan this site down, or we'll finish scanning the site down, and we're going to show you kind of how to run through one of these sites here in Nullsec. And just narrow our way in. Make sure we're cloaked. Hit our D-scan from time to time. Make sure that nobody's jumping in on us. If somebody jumps in on us, we have our station here selected, and I also have my warp to within 30 kilometers. So all I have to do is select somewhere, hit my cloak and warp, and I'll generally be safe. You can do it with a safe if you have safe bookmarks in the system that you're scanning in. So we'll just try and narrow in on this scan, the signature. Okay, now we're getting closer. Go down to 0.25. This should be the one. Center it on our signature. Make sure from both top and side we're nice and lined up. What we're working on here is a relic site. So relic sites use the relic analyzer, and data sites use the data analyzer. So now we can warp to that site. We'll warp to the site.
Warp drive
call our
active.
scan probes. As you can see, we are cloaked. Always want to hit our D scan to make sure that, you know, there's nobody jumping in on us. Be ready to warp out. Kind of get a good situational awareness on what's going on around you. Because as we all know, Nullsec is never safe. So when we land on the site, we want to make sure that the boxes are on our overview. Mine's already set up, but as we land, you'll see that these boxes get close. And so we'll select the closest box to us, and it looks like that's going to be 42 kilometers. So we'll just go ahead and approach that. We can use our micro warp drive at this point. We want to look at the scan results. There's nothing here, so we're good to go. We can uncloak. And I like this. What I do is I set my keep it range, and you do that by right-clicking and set default keep it range. Mine's 2600, and the reason why I do that is because it puts you in a good position for when after you've scanned the site, it will you'll be in a good position to pick up all the boxes that will spawn once we're done. You'll see that here in a moment. So as we close some range, we'll turn our micro warp drive off so we can minimize the amount of bump that we get off of this guy, and hopefully we'll stop somewhere close to where we want to be. And we're coming in a little hot here, so we'll bounce. Boom, and there's our bounce. Now that we got the thing locked up, we can use our cargo scanner. Our cargo scanner will tell us what's inside that box we're about ready to hit. So what we see here is we have a bunch of power circuits, some Tech 2 salvage, and some data. We also want to hit our D-scan again, make sure that nobody's on top of us. So these guys, the salvage is going to be in equipment, materials, and parts. You'll get salvage. This book, this is going to come out of a data box. So basically what we're going to be looking for here is data and parts for the most part, for the maximum value in this can, in this box that we're about ready to open. So we're in a relic site, so we'll just hit our relic site analyzer, and now we start the mini game. While we're in the mini game, I always like to keep the D-scan up and keep it in, where I can just click on it and look to see if anybody's looking on top of us. I also like to select something, a celestial or a station. You can use just about anything, and then you're ready to warp 230. And if you do have to warp to get out, you just click this, and then as soon as you get away from everything, you hit your cloak, and hopefully they don't see which direction you go. So now we're in the mini game. We're going to go ahead and just start the mini game. We start clicking through here. That's good. This little wrench here, this will heal us. So this side here is our health, and this side here is our coherence. This is basically attack power, and this is how much punishment we can withstand. So now we just kind of start going through, clicking. We're looking for the data core in here, so it's just kind of hunting around for it. This thing here, it has an attack power of 40 and has 60, so basically our 30 attack power is going to be applied against that 60, and it will do 40 for every time we click it and don't kill it. So we don't want to really mess with it right now because we don't have anything. now we do have something. So this guy here, this will reduce the coherence of a defense subsystem by 20 over 3 turns. So we could basically take that thing out if we just click this and click on that, but we don't want to do that right now. We want to kind of see what else comes up. There's another one. And I just kind of click around to open up as much of the board as possible before and have the game make me make a move that I really don't want to make before I actually make it. So now we have 2 of them things. That's pretty good. This one's looking pretty good. 3 of those guys. And firewall. So we're gonna pretty soon we'll get one of those one of the types that heals these guys. So I think we're gonna clear out some of these ones that are blocking off a good chunk of our board here. So we just continue to go looking for the core, which we haven't found yet. So these things, when you click these guys here, this will these are wild cards. They can either be a bad thing or a good thing, and these reduce our coherence. So we gotta get rid of those as soon as we can. Let's go ahead and start seeing what's under these things. And we're kind of in trouble here. I don't think we're gonna make this one. This one heals the rest, so yeah, we're really in trouble. We're not gonna make it, so we'll just do the best we can. Heal ourselves back up with a little wrench. Maybe we can take this out. Alright, so when we fail, then we get a chance to try it again. And your hacking skills really depend on how much coherence and things we got. And so now we got this guy that just came into system, and he's in an Atron. So I'm gonna really be diligent on my D-scan now. I know he's in an Atron because I've been sitting in the system for a little while in preparation to do this video for you guys. Now we don't have really anywhere to go there, so get rid of that. This guy here, this will half the coherence of any item. So these ones. That when this thing is on the field, it makes our attack power half. So we want to get rid of this as soon as possible. This one's not looking good again. I'll just continue to try and find the D-scan because we got dude in system. Let's continue to try and find that. Box, but that's okay. It's good for demonstration purposes. We failed. Burn over to another box. And you know, doing a video, you never fail. So you're gonna fail one box here and there. The better your hacking skills are, the least likely that is to happen. We'll get close to this, set it range, select our thing just in case we have to warp off. This guy in this Atron is still in system, so we'll keep on our D-scan to see if we see anything. Something decloaked us here, but that's okay. Well, we're within range of this guy now here, so we'll select it. This was our other box, it just blew up, so that's not going to work. Just get rid of that. Cargo scan the box, see what's in it. Basically parts. It's all going to be parts, so let's start hacking away. Go. They're probably setting up a warp in on me where I want to take this thing out as soon as we possibly can. These guys here, they heal the rest of the things on the field, so if you get them alone, you're going to want to take them out as soon as you possibly can. So scan again, make sure we're not. Probes go up, you know you're in trouble. Hopefully the guy doesn't have us pre-scanned here. We're also watching our overview to make sure that nothing comes off grid. So this guy here is halving our coherence, so we're going to and another one comes up, never fails. Okay, there's our thing. So it doesn't look like we're going to have enough. And it's got 10 left. Got it. Scan. So we'll try it again. We'll have better luck this time. There it is. Now we're looking for something that's going to help us to complete the mission, which we didn't get. So this is another fail. Scan, we had a -1 in system. We'll just go ahead and approach, go cloaky. Under D-scan again. Now we're alone. Makes us feel good. Can hack in peace. We're set in range again. Scan our box. See what we have inside of it. More parts. So parts and materials are what we're going to want to go after here. Start our scan or hack analyzing. Start getting it. So one thing about this type of item that you run into 2 on the board. You can see that it does a lot of damage, but and has like a very little amount of health. Our attack power is 30, so if we set that, use this item which cuts its defense in half, now the 25, and we're going to do 30 worth of damage to this guy. So we'll hit it, and it doesn't hit us because we kill it before it has a chance to do anything to us, and we just seem to keep hitting them. These are bad. This will heal the rest of the stuff on the green, so we want to do this as soon as we possibly can. This gives you a shield for 2 attacks, so with this guy we can hit this one, and now we can kill these guys without being hit. That was kind of a little trick, took me a while to learn. That you just want to bring these guys to the point to where you can hit them without being hit. So we're looking for the data core here. The data core is what's going to spawn the cans. That will give us our loot. So hopefully we find it this time around. It's looking worse and worse as time goes on. So these are the ones that we want to get rid of as soon as we possibly can. There it is. So now we'll take this thing out. And once we take this out, all of this stuff is going to spawn, and these are going to be in parts containers. So if you have like blueprints or skill books, those are going to be in data containers. Material containers have also salvage as well, so we'll go for those. Equipment, I believe, has some salvage type of stuff too. Otherwise, if you get scraps or whatever, it's all going to be junk. So we'll just go ahead and pop that guy open. Now the little box is spawned, so now our materials is good because that's going to give us some good stuff. And what you get spawns down in here, so you can kind of see what you have. So we want parts. When they're green, you can click on them and pull them in. Otherwise, the yellow, they won't pull in at that point. So green and white means you're out of range of it. So you want to you want to wait until they turn green and click them. Pull as many boxes in as you possibly can to get all the loot, as much loot as you can before they despawn. So now we open our cargo container, look at the volume. We can get rid of the carbon. We don't need to right now because our our hold isn't completely full. And that's basically what you do. You run through Nullsec and you hack the sites. You'll get better at doing the little mini game as time goes on. Use your cloak to your advantage. Stay cloaked as much as you possibly can. You can't really be cloaked while you're hacking, but be cloaked like when I'm sitting here in space. Watch your D-scan. Make sure nobody's warping in on top of you. And make good ISK and have fun hacking. And that concludes my video on Nullsec exploration. Have a good night.